Do you honestly think
With
you're
Grand Theft
fucking
Auto
funny?
Online, Rockstar Games is looking to bring the heart of the Grand Theft Auto experience to a living
Right, I'll tell you what,
online
you
world
fat
with
little
multiple
cunt.
players.
So go and fuck yourself. Go and fucking crawl in the dirty, dank little hole where you fucking come from, you dirty, dragon-eating little fucking spastic.
Now, to say one DLC has ruined GTA Online is kind of impossible. I mean, with years of new overpowered vehicles, exploits being found, and a literal focus from Rockstar on everything but what players actually want, narrowing the cores down of everything we see in the game today will be pretty hard. But if you look back over some of the DLCs from the years, you can see a trend emerge that might just explain GTA Online in 2021. So, without further ado, let's get into the DLCs that ruined GTA Online. Firstly, we need to talk about a brief history of the game before the DLCs we'll be mentioning. GTA Online launched in late 2013, and ever since then, we've been privileged to enjoy this game we love oh so much. GTA Online has a free DLC and update philosophy, with every new major content update being free in huge massive quotation marks, and for a while, the content itself reflected that. If we take a look at something like the Beach Bum update, we can see the content itself was pretty middling. A bunch of clothing items, 2 weapons, one being a literal smashed piece of garbage, and the other being the sand pistol, as glorious as it is, and 3 cars and a boat nobody uses anymore. This was Rockstar's initial philosophy when it came to DLCs, but from there, the scope increased exponentially. If we take a look at something like the High Life and I'm Not a Hipster updates, you can see we get some new apartments, new clothes, new weapons, new vehicles, and other things of note, such as unique jobs or missions. These are obviously a little grander than the previous DLCs, yet they weren't huge. This wasn't the peak of Rockstar's ability for creating DLCs, not by far. They have far more in the bag they were saving for later, that came in the form of the Heists update in 2015.
I finally got V-Bucks!
Been seeming sus lately, like we have an imposter among us.
Mr. Worldwide! No kidding with
I'm fast as fuck, boy! Bruh.
Now, Heist changed the game. Before this point, earning money was primarily done by praying your favourite activity or job was on a double money week. But now, players had a substantially large and consistent source of income they could grind at to earn money. And, of course, this idea would be a focus for Rockstar in the future. After a few smaller updates, we were hit with the most important yet, the further adventures in finance and felony. Now, don't let this awful, stupidly long, tedious name fool you. This DLC was incredible for multiple reasons. Firstly, no Mark II, but seriously, it gave players a whole new method of earning money, one that would be expanded and improved upon for the foreseeable future. And beyond that, gave people a reason to care about money, outside of customising cars to be blown up at that epic car meet. It gave people a meta game to focus on where maximising their income was their priority. Investing money into other methods to earn money faster was the aim of this, and many DLCs to come. Bikers came next with selling their gamer substances. Then we had import-export. We sold stolen cars for a fraction of their actual worth, which, in a cruel joke by Rockstar, is shown to you throughout the entire job to taunt you. Also, during this period, it truly popularised the grind and player base we see today. And, to fill my video quota of referencing and memeing the professional, gave rise to grinders becoming popular on YouTube by sharing strats to others to benefit them to help them grind. Now, this was all well and good. People were enjoying the game at this time, and it seemed Rockstar were truly helping players earn money. And, whilst their shark cards were still quite scummy, people were relatively happy with the economy of the game, given whilst items were still expensive, there were multiple ways of earning money. But of course, with that being said, Rockstar had a misstep, shall we say, in the implementation of one such grinding focused DLC.
I doubt you could even imagine it.
No! Oh my god!
Baba Booey.
Gunrunning launched in 2017, and it was quite controversial, to say the least. Let's get the good aspects out of the way first. We got a new source to grind money. This was epic. Money is good to buy to buy a new jet bike ripped from the hands of Saints Row, and a new Mark II sniper with explosive rounds that nearly destroyed aircraft PvP in free mode. I mean, okay, some parts were bad, but let's go back to the grinding aspect, okay? That was good, right? Well, okay, so you had to go by your bunker, place where you could source cargo and deliver it back to your bunker to make new weapons, to sell around Los Santos and earn money, and, wait, hang on. What's this little, what's this research bar? Oh, it's a borderline paywall, or another 2,000 hours of grinding to access all the content. Oh, okay, that's pretty stupid, but what about that cool new MOC? That must be good, right? I mean, it looks quite cool. It's got those turrets on the back, hasn't it? Oh, that's unlocked by research too. What about customizing new vehicles? That must be pretty cool, mustn't it? Oh, to do that, you need to buy the MOC, and to unlock all the customization options, you need to do the aforementioned research. This isn't very cash money. Now, okay, all this is pretty bad. Overpowered vehicles, paywalls, tedious research. Who could possibly like this? I mean, there was a huge backlash, crying out loud. Surely Rockstar will learn the lesson that this isn't what people want, right? Smuggler's Run launched in 2017 after gun running and focused on sourcing cargo to sell in your aircraft business. What's this? New planes and helicopters? Are any of them overpowered? Well, not really. A lot of these new vehicles were actually quite well received by the player base. The Pyro, Hunter and Starling all being well received, alongside the Molotov, which is reportedly one of the top 5 best vehicles in the entire game, apparently.
I'm feeling...
3, we have the Molotov, and the reason that I chose the Molotov is because it's a very, very useful vehicle for getting around the map, but what really seals the deal for the Molotov is the fact that it can land almost anywhere. This thing is just so easy to land. You just basically slow down, it'll glide in.
Okay, so this all seems to be going quite well. There are none of the issues of gun running in this DLC. Rockstar really must have learned their lesson from people's criticisms of gun running. I can't wait to see what comes next in the new DLC. Oh my god, what the hell is this monstrosity? The Doomsday Heist also released in 2017 after a fairly long hiatus in updates from Rockstar. And boy was it worth the wait. So, there were 3 brand new heists spanning across one large story arc focused on an AI trying to destroy the world with nuclear bombs hidden beneath Mount Chiliad. Now that's a bit of an exaggeration, but sadly not by much. I mean, it was safe to say, at this point, GTA Online had entirely jumped the shark in terms of its believability and world. Just for reference, right, these events are meant to take place alongside the main single player story, with some DLCs taking place before and others taking place after. And whilst they're not actually canonical to my knowledge anyway, despite the single player and multiplayer worryingly being referenced in both, it's awful for this game. Alongside this stupidly insane story, we got some stupidly insane vehicles to go alongside it. I mean, just look at the Deluxo alone. It's absolutely insane. It's a flying car with missiles, for crying out loud. I mean, remember in the Beach Bum update where we were getting a smashed bottle as a DLC item? Now we're getting the car Hagrid had in the Chamber of Secrets. And, if that wasn't bad enough, the orbital cannon. I mean, the orbital cannon alone. What an absolutely awful idea. Literally nobody even asked for this in the slightest. It ruins the enjoyment for PvP players and grinders. Nobody even benefits from this thing, aside from Rockstar, of course, giving people buying shark cards to download buy and get one single shot out of the thing. But beyond that, we had those pesky paywalls to show up again. To do the new height, you needed to buy the facility for over 2 million, which was fun when I had to borrow my mum's credit card after only just asking to use it, to buy all the other things I wanted in the last DLC. Quite honestly, at this point for a lot of people, GTA Online was irreparably ruined. Overpowered vehicles and paywalls, and other tumours and forms of cancer spreading throughout the game was slowly killing it. What's worse, the actual content of the heists were actually pretty good, and they paid a decent amount, which made you still want to play the game despite its shortcomings. I swear this game is like Soviet Russia. Give the people breadcrumbs, just enough to feed them, yet keep them hungry, and they'll always come back for more. And speaking of coming back for more, we were rewarded with the worst vehicle yet in the following DLC, the After Hour DLC, or otherwise known as the Nightclub DLC. We got the infamous and beloved by some Oppressor Mark II, as if the first Oppressor wasn't bad enough. This is why pointing out where GTA Online went wrong is so hard. This is why saying exactly where it was ruined is next to impossible, because not only was it a prolonged, slow death, some may argue it wasn't even ruined fully at all. I mean, we've only just gotten the Caraprico heist, and people absolutely love it. It's a grinder's perfect update, yet the game is still so heavily flawed, despite the new content being loved so much. Can we even call the game dead if there is a potential for a new DLC to come out with even more content people love? With the new addition to the game releasing soon, what is the best course of action? Vote with our wallets and refuse to accept another mess of a product? Or will people buy into the potential for a crumb of quote-unquote good content? What even is the right answer here? Me personally, I'm probably not even going to bother buying any of the new editions, not until they at least fix the anti-cheat on PC, which is, of course, another issue in of itself. I'm basically done with the game, or at least playing it on a consistent basis outside of making content, and maybe you should too. Or maybe you're hopeful we might receive another heists update, or at least find some enjoyment in an update that's broken, yet has enjoyable aspects to it. I don't think there necessarily is a right answer, but I'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments down below. Beyond that, however, this has been Istura, and I hope you enjoyed.